the last of the founders of Elliot Lake.
What do you mean you're the last of the founders?
Everybody's gone. I went there when I was 18, 19, and everybody was older than me. You know what I mean? I went there as a kid. And as it turned out, I never went back. I went back home 3 months later. And nobody paid me. Nobody knew me. But, you know, it worked out good for me.
Why is it called Ryan Lake?
Because I lived here.
How long?
Well, I spent a winter here in a tent.
What was here when you spent the time here?
That'd be 1953. So when you think of it, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
There was no, this was all trees. And the only reason it's called Ryan Lake, because the guy that was doing the mapping and all this, he knew I lived here. So he gave it the name. That's how it come about. Well, when you're on exploration, you have to have a Geiger counter. You're checking the rock for minerals. I was the one carrying the counter. The next guy to me was the geologist. And that's how it worked. And they became mines. The cliffs are a pain in the ass if you have to walk them. Oh, I landed on the island on Elliot Lake.
Stuff that way?
Yeah, to the right. I landed on that island and I didn't know where the hell I was. And there was a canoe and we went to the shore and we staked the mines there, right there. There's a couple mines.
Here for the Ryans, there have never been any regrets about moving to Elliot Lake more than 30 years ago. Elliot Lake has been good for us and good for our family as well. Joan says on behalf of all of them. So that was Mom, and that was back in 1987.
Well, the mine was good to me.
Yeah, the mine was. It very much was, and so was the town. Little Pork, right? Isn't it Little Pork where the town site was?
What can you tell me about what it was like having a dad working at the mine?
Oh, what it was like having a dad work at the mine. I always knew, it was kind of interesting, the house would shake at 4 o'clock every day, and that's when you knew the blasting happened, and you knew your father was going to be home in an hour. So you'd feel the house shake a bit at 4 o'clock, and sure enough, 5 o'clock, your father would come into the door. So you knew at that time you had to get ready, because as soon as your father came in the door, you were going to have dinner.
Through whose vision and perseverance this community became established as the uranium capital of the world.
What did the uranium ore look like? How'd you know if you found it?
Oh, what it is. I don't know if I have a piece here. I have a piece somewhere. What it is rock with little pebbles in it. So when you look at it, you see little pebbles all over it. And that's what it was. And when you scan it with the Geiger counter, and of course it starts beeping like hell.
And there are these big deposits out there?
Well, they were fair size when you think of it. They had panel, quirk, Denison, Stanley. So there's four active mines going. So there was a lot of people in Elliot at the time.
And a lot of uranium.
Eh?
And a lot of uranium.
Yeah.
Do you know what the uranium was used for when it was shipped out?
That's a really good question. What was it used for? I do know that it would be used for nuclear facilities. I do know that it was bought by America, United States, and I think a lot of it was probably stored as we were going through, I would call it a Cold War within North America, and I think it was Russia. What was it used for? I don't know. That's a really good question.
I think there's a possibility that Elliot Lake helped outfit nuclear weapons.
Probably. Could very well be.
And do you think that affects the legacy at all of the city?
No, I don't, actually. I don't even think people think about it, quite frankly.
What do you think about when you think about Elliot Lake?
I think about growing up there. I actually don't think about, the fact that we were mining uranium and shipping uranium wherever it was shipped. It was all about growing up there, and the lifestyle that we had was absolutely great. And one of my biggest regrets in many ways is I wish my kids would have experienced that.
When you and Dad would describe it to me growing up, it kind of felt like a scene out of Grease Lightning or something like that. It felt like a piece of ideal, mid-20th century Americana. Would you describe Elliot Lake as that kind of?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was great. Absolutely. And I would tell you this, anybody who left Elliot Lake and would go, to whether it was college, university, or even somewhere else, they would always say, yeah, I'm an Elliot Laker. So there was definitely an identity of the great times we had growing up, for sure.
It's very dull because nothing happens because everybody's 80 or older. I want to go to university and get far away from Elliot Lake.
So you won't come back once you graduate?
No.
I'm Alec Mayer, and I'm 15 years old, and I'm in grade 10.
I'm Grace Mayer, and I'm in grade 12. The way my mom describes her high school experience seems like a movie, like you said, like Grease or something. But at Elliot Lake now, it's just not the same as she describes it.
They had more parties, I guess, but
Oh.
that kind of stuff, and she has a lot of stories, but maybe if there was more hangout spots and that kind of stuff, but stuff to do.
It was a nice town in them days. Everybody knew everybody. It was closely knit.
What about now?
Oh, now, Jesus Christ, all seniors from the south there. Well, they sell their house down in Trauma, they go and live there, they like to go to Florida for the winter.
So it's a different community now.
Yeah, a completely different community.
I think Elliot Lake's future is going to be what it is today. I think it will probably stay as a retirement community. I think that kind of model, people come in, people leave, I think that will continue. I don't see anything else for it, I must say.
Would you say Elliot Lake is a microcosm for the fate of most rural communities in Ontario?
I hope not. Elliot Lake is really somewhat isolated, right? Because it's not on the main highway. I mean, if you go off the main highway, you're only going one place. You're going to Elliot Lake. You're not going anywhere else, right? And it's 40 some odd kilometers off the main highway, which is a little bit different than I think those that are on the main highway. I still think as the economy expands, as people expand, I do believe that there's opportunities for some communities, but I think Elliot Lake is very much isolated.
Why did the mines close?
Ran out of uranium. You can only take so much out of the ground and that's it. And yet I go in no frills, I know nobody anymore. And yet I was the one that staked the goddamn place, But that's the way it is. It was good to me. I got no complaint. We were in a tent. Yeah, like that.
So you lived in that?
Yeah, that's a home.
It's a home.
Hard to believe, eh?
It is.